what people have been saying to us in interviews and kind of what we've probably seen on Saturdays, it seems like you've really kind of stepped your game up this spring. How do you see that kind of manifesting on the field?
Yeah, I would also agree. It's just been a lot of off-season work. I feel like me and the receiver room, we've kind of put our mindset towards doing the little things when no one's watching. So we caught a lot of balls when nobody has been out there in the indoor with us. Especially before we started spring ball, just working on little things in my routes. Releases off the line, coming out of breaks at the top of routes, just little things like that that I feel like I wasn't, as punctual in my past years. So I definitely think I've stepped up my game just because I'm focusing a lot more on the little things at my position.
Next question comes from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Malachi, it looks to me like you're a little quicker out there. Is that something you worked on in the off season?
Yeah, for sure. Speed. To me, I feel like speed isn't really too coachable. In some aspects with some people, but I'm a track guy. I got a history running track. When I was younger, I started when I was 11 years old, and I ran till about senior year in high school with my little brothers. And I was a hurdler, but I wasn't, as much of a sprinter as my little brothers were. So I always felt like that was something that I could always get better at. And coming out here to college and just seeing some guys that were faster than me or just as fast as me, I knew that in order for me be the dominant player I want to be, I need to take my speed to another level, as well as the little details in my route running. But just having that speed just puts you over the top, and also the quickness off the line of scrimmage and in between routes and in between breaks and things like that. It just puts you on another level. So I realized that when you can excel at that, then it just makes the defender that much harder to stop you.
Next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Malachi. You've touched on it a little bit, but obviously I know Coach Collins, I'm sure, talks to you a lot as a team about attention and details and those sorts of things. How do you personally take that to heart as far as what kind of things that you want to try to be better at?
Yeah, so attention to detail is huge in our program. From snap counts and not jumping off sides, to knowing your job, to knowing, your teammate you got to protect by doing what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. And also, when I touched on before, quickness, speed, route running, physicality, blocking technique, just things like that, I feel like we're taking a lot more into account now this year than we have before. So, yeah, attention to detail has been huge, especially this offseason.
Next question comes from Patrick Canaro from Ramblin' Sports.
Malachi, hi. With respect to a lot of wide receivers, you kind of classify them either as a possession guy or a deep threat guy. Right. Obviously, there's a lot of exceptions to that, but you're one of the few individuals who have both skill sets. Do you get a personal pleasure out of one of those over the other, the 3rd and 7 catch versus the let's go for a touchdown long bomb threat, or do you like all that work?
To me, honestly, I classify myself as a playmaker. I think I can make a play out of catching the ball from behind the line of scrimmage to 50 yards down the field, in my eyes. I'm always one to say, take a hitch and make it a touchdown. Take a slant, turn it into a touchdown. And, just little routes. When you can make plays out of small routes that you just needed a quick first down and you could really make something out of it, then I feel like, that gets a lot of eyes on you, and that kind of just builds your confidence and lets you know that, when the ball comes my way, anything can happen. So I don't really get a pleasure out of any, particular situation or deep ball play. I mean, obviously, you get the deep ball, everybody wants to get the deep ball, it's a big play. But personally, I feel like a play can be made out of any type of ball thrown to you, from behind the line of scrimmage, like I said, to 50 yards down the field. So I just think that any ball that comes to me, I just got to make a play with it.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Malachi, you guys have a lot of different guys now in that wide receiver room. Right. Guys like Ryan King and Avery that, are in the program last year, but were young, mm-hmm. and then like Keurig. And so kind of what are you seeing from those new guys and guys who maybe weren't on the field a ton last year?
What I'm seeing the most is their drive and determination. You know, from last year to this year, I'm starting to see a lot of confidence from them boys. You know, even though they're still gradually learning, especially since we're putting new things in the playbook too. I'm starting to see a lot more confidence, and that also comes from the top of the room. The veteran guys that have just been here, trying to instill confidence in the younger guys and let them know that you could play at this level. It don't really mean too much. Yeah, you're in the ACC, but I mean, you're here for a reason. And a lot of guys don't come in with the mindset that I'm here, I'm ready to play right now. So a lot of guys need that motivation and that welcoming environment from the veteran guys in their room to make them feel like they can really go out there and make plays and kind of remind them what brought them here in the first place. So I'm seeing a lot of confidence, and I'm seeing a lot of focus out of those guys.
Another question from Ken Segura from the AJC.
Okay, you've been in this offense obviously even before Coach Collins' first season, but you've actually been through it and seen the progression.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, what do you see now, and kind of how do you see yourself fitting in? Once the fall gets here.
What I see now, the biggest thing I see is just confidence in the offense. Honestly, I felt like when the coaches first got here, even the year after they got here, and we were our second year into the offense, it was a lot of building blocks. A lot of things we had to overcome and still learn even throughout the season. And that resulted in a lot of games that we lost. But I can say the difference between last year and this year is just the confidence we have in our offense to know that when we go out there, we can go score when we want to, or we can go get a first down when we want to. We got a lot of threats in every position on the field that we have on offense. So, we just got a lot of confidence. We got a lot of trust in each other now. We're really just focused on our assignment, and once the play is called, just do what I got to do. And I know that all 10 of my brothers that's to the right or left of me are going to do what they got to do. So it's just been a lot more confidence, a lot more focus. We're playing a lot faster. Everything's starting to feel a lot more loose. We can just go out there and just play how we play. So, I'm excited about this season for sure.
Got time for a couple more from Malachi. Ken, do you have another one?
I do. Is there a story behind you getting number 7? I think you wore 15, if I'm not mistaken, at Mountain View.
Yeah, I was waiting on this question actually. So there is a little bit of a story. 7 is my mother's favorite number. She tells me that's the number of completion, and this is coming up on my senior year here technically, and hopefully it could be the last one. I wouldn't mind, but that was her favorite number, so that's always been in my life. My name is Malachi. My little brother's name is Mosiah, and my youngest brother's name is Matthias. We all have 7 letters in our names because of her. So it was kind of like a surprise for her. I didn't let her know what my number was gonna be. I told her you'll just have to see pictures. So when they finally took a couple pictures of us at practice, they got a couple of me and they posted them. She calls me up and just a little bit emotional because she knows why I did it. So yeah, that's the story behind it. Just kind of pay tribute to my family and let them know that I'm dedicating the season to them.
That's awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
And we'll go ahead and take our last one from Malachi from Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Malachi, on the other side of the ball, a lot of familiar faces, back there in the secondary.
Mhm.
Do you see any change in that group, and what are you seeing from them?
I think that group is getting a lot more punctual. I'm starting to see them, not that I haven't in the past, but just so much more now, really focus on their technique, at practice. Even when we get into periods when we got to move fast, let's say it's 2 minute, 2 minute end of the game, 2 minute end of the half, periods where, everything's kind of going pretty quick and it's easy to lose focus and things like technique, and position. But I'm seeing a lot more focus in that nowadays with our DBs and safeties. They're really communicating a lot more, and I can always tell that they're on the same page. So it also gets my focus up, just seeing them so focused on that side of the ball, pre-snap, post-snap. Just seeing the focus level and the confidence in them just kind of brings that out of us on offense too, because it's like competition. you know, competition breeds competition. You know, if someone's competing against you at the highest level, you know, you really have no choice but to do your best against them. So I think the improvement in their room has really brought out the improvement in our room.